If you want to be able to buy the most expensive players and open the best packs in FC25, go to u7buy.com to buy your EA FC25 coins. It's cheaper than buying FC points and just as reliable. With their already amazing prices, you can get an extra 8% using promo code Inception at checkout. Okay guys, so we're just gonna be doing a discussion video. I don't have notes. I'm gonna go off the top of my head here. This is not gonna be as passionate as like previous installments of these videos because I'm not on the game like consistent like that. If I was, I would probably be like more upset for certain things and not upset for other things. I do want to start off this video by saying that ever since they did the attacking AI change, it is less stressful for me to create content now, right? Like before, I don't know, man, the new gen version of the game, I think for years, right? For since its inception, right, was just not good, right? It was pretty horrible, to be honest. The attacking AI was horrendous. But if you are using meta formations, which I think is a very key thing to mention, you do get like more movements out of players. Like if you watch my recent 4-2-1-3 video, the one that's like the crazy 95 depth one, there are certain goals that I score in that I don't consider skill based, like completely, because it's a really overpowered way of scoring because it depends on what your opponent is using and all that kind of stuff, and we'll talk about that. But there are many goals in that video where we score very nice opportunities from like doing really well timed last second passes to a guy that's just onside, doing that first touch to get that goal scoring opportunity, like the extra passes that's necessary because if I were to shoot the ball right away, he would block it, just stuff like that. So if you guys want to see the highlights for that, that's from the recent 4-2-1-3. Now, you guys need to understand that like when I play the game, I play the game from a perspective of doing content and then hopping off. I don't like the FC gimmick garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like player locks. I don't like manual goal kicking from inside the 18. I don't like there was something else that I didn't like as well. Oh, the Trivellas, you know, the long range Trivellas. Before the Trivellas made sense, and these are hot fixes, right? The Trivellas made sense before because your attacking AI was horrendous, right? And people would park the bus like crazy, and they still park the bus like crazy even right now because the 4-2-1-3 will allow them to do a little bit more. But the thing is that your attacking AI is just so much better now that it's not as big of an issue. Like for me, as I'm doing the reviews for players, I'm thinking the entire, like I score the goal and I literally say in the tactic videos, like this is, oh, I just scored a cringe goal, right? Because you could score Trivellas with someone who has like 70 finishing, 70 long shot power. And if you green it, you know, you can still score those opportunities, which like I get it, but at the same time, like I think it should be like more specific to a player. Like let's say for instance, if people were that good at hitting Trivellas, but they have Trivella plus, like if I'm using Quaresma and Quaresma is one of the few players that are like really good at doing that, if he was in the game, then you know, fine, right? If you do new players and they have Trivella plus as well, they're a strong foot on the strong side like a Hansen, then okay, then that makes sense as well, right? But yeah, you guys know me, I don't like the FIFA gimmick garbage. Some of it I will still use, obviously, but I don't consistently play the game past content creation afterwards. You guys know this because if you watch the SBC account, which is the only account that I use as of right now, maybe it changes in the future once we get the new computer, but as of right now, there's no evolutions done on that account, right? We do the content, we call it a day, right? But it's going to have to change a little bit because, you know, we're going to talk about it, but the live content this year for the 1 o'clock stuff, like the stuff that they actually release, has been absolutely horrific this year. Okay, we have to mention that. It's really interesting because in the beginning, they actually started off decently, right? Like they released the flashback Varane, which is awesome. What a card that was. They released like a really cheap Alex Garcia. Alex Garcia was awesome as well. But stuff like the icons and the regular promo cards that they've generally released over the course of time, they have generally been very awful, right? We recently did get a Rafinha and a Kolo Muani, and I will tell you guys this right now that Kolo Muani is genuinely Timo Werner 2.0 for this game. 100% he is. He's absolutely incredible. But like the price is so up there and the hype for this game is so low, and we'll explain why, that he's not as like popping as like a video, for instance. Like for Timo Werner last year, that card I think was like 80K views, 79K views. But because of the state of the game right now from the regular consumer, and because of how they really price their SBC super, super high, which is just insane. It's really crazy, right? Like, and guys, listen, the one thing that I don't know how it operates, right, is how you can collect fodder on a consistent basis. I don't pay attention to any of that. I have not paid attention to that since probably like 2017, right? To be honest, like 2017 when I was doing like my own account stuff. But like, guys, even if a card, in my opinion, is like 1 million coins, 1.2 million coins, I think in our community that plays this game, I think people are completely okay with being in the menus more than the gameplay, because that's what the game is, right? And a really, really important thing to mention when it comes to gameplay, in my honest opinion, and I don't even think it's an opinion, I think it's an absolute cold, hard fact, okay? If you guys play this game on the console and you play the same gameplay that I play, I don't care what adjustments you did to attacking AI, what adjustments you did to speed, I don't care what adjustments you did to any of that stuff, the FC25 on the console is complete trash. It's complete trash. When I had to do the reviews for Maradona, there was 2 versions of him, right, that I had to do his review for on the console. Complete garbage. I don't even care. Like I said, when we continue this conversation after what I'm saying right now, if I had to do content on the console version of the game, and this is at least like the PS5, so not the PS5 Pro, because some competitive players have told me that for some reason the gameplay feels better than the PS5 Pro, because that's the stupid game that we play, right? But as far as like right now, on the PS5, just the console, it's horrific to play. Horrific, right? And the reason why it bothers me as a content creator is not necessarily because of the fact that I can't play on the PS5. It's because the game being horrific on the console in 2025 is not good for my content, because the regular person that will be experiencing that is going to be like, oh, I'm not interested in this game as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is horrific. And I'm not saying that it's horrific to give you, because a lot of people do this, right? To give you guys the excuse to make your results relevant to you. Like, oh, the reason why I get like 10 and 5 or whatever is because of gameplay, which, to be honest with you, I can't fully blame you on, because I have no hands when I play on the PS5, apparently, right? And I'm going to tell you guys why. Before, we used to deal with inconsistent gameplay mainly, which I have zero doubt in my entire mind they will probably never fix, right? On the PC, we'll see once we get this new build, because I needed to do it as a content creator, because what the PC gameplay is, guys, is like a normal version of what the console is when the console is supposed to feel good, right? Because you need to understand that for the console version of the game, I don't play it like the typical person would play it, right? Where it's like you guys probably come home from work or from school, and then you guys hop on the game and then you play it in the afternoon. Maybe it's like 6 or 7 o'clock. I don't play during those time periods, right? To be honest with you. So during those time periods, usually in the past, with inconsistent gameplay being taken into consideration, your gameplay has a better chance of it being decent. But I'll tell you guys this right now, right? And when I did that Maradona video, the 2, and that was done at the that was like close to the end of the day for me when I go to sleep and all that kind of stuff, because I'm getting old now, right? But like, I did the Maradona video, I think at like 8:30. Like, you guys might be able to see the time that I uploaded it at Eastern time, right? But those 2 videos that I had to do, I was like, mentally, I was like suffering. Because I'm like, this feels so bad to play. Like, this feels so bad. You know what it is, guys? I started a Road to Glory series this year, right? You guys remember this. I started a Road to Glory series this year because I wanted to kind of experience what it was like to play the game normally. But my mistake was buying the game on the console, because if you guys see the original titles that I had during that Road to Glory, the first thing that I said in the titles was, this delay is going to drive me insane. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, this year's game for the console, again, this is just from my experience playing it, and I'm sure it's your experience too, because there's no way that you guys are like consistently playing a different game than me. There's, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's so stupid to even mention this in 2025, but I'm telling you guys that this game, the gameplay, has a built-in like delay in it for console. I don't know what it is, bro. There's like this built-in delay that is less relevant on PC. Like, you know, you don't really notice it as much. And again, I don't know exactly what it's like, because I need to build a new computer first. I just got a 5080 instead of 5090 because getting the 5090 was so hard and getting the 5080 was difficult, but we managed to get like a thing for that. So hopefully no problems for me to get that, because as a content creator I had to do it, right? But on the console, guys, there's a built-in lag delay. That's what I call it. Like, I don't know if that's like an actual term to use, but I call it a lag delay, right? And the problem is that if I have to deal with this new lag delay that exists on the console mainly, right? That happens on the PC, but it's like well compensated on the PC for some reason on a 2080 Ti, by the ways. Imagine that with me dealing with inconsistent gameplay because they're like two separate entities that are like mixed in one, right? So that's like a main problem that I have, especially with this year's game, right? And to be honest with you guys, I don't think you guys talk about it enough. Like, the console is, in my opinion, like, guys, it was unplayable before because the inconsistent gameplay alone makes the game trash. That's why I said in that video that the enjoyment of the game has raised up to 30% for me. That I have percentages, you guys know me. It's raised up to 30% because I play on the PC, right? Because I can experience on a more consistent basis, again, because this is stupid to say, on a more consistent basis, because maybe if I play the console at 10 o'clock at night, I will get like similar gameplay, right? Maybe it's random because I've had nights where it never changed. I don't know, it's so stupid. Like, I'm a broken record with this. It's like 10 plus years, right? But yeah, I don't think people talk about the console gameplay enough. I think it's horrendous. If I had to do content on the console this year, I have to like play on the PC with like the knowledge and understanding that it's like I'm playing at 6 or 7 o'clock for you guys. Like, you guys get what I'm saying? It's so stupid. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, for the console, I think it's cooked. Over there, it's cooked. I think even content creators right now, I hope you guys are playing on the PC. Because if you guys are playing on the console and you are playing... Guys, you know what I noticed it the most, man? It was driving me nuts. It's in the defending, bro. You know when you have to transition left and right? Bro, transitioning left and right with these guys, I'm not even joking, guys. When I play on the console, I have to, like, when I'm holding my thumbstick, I have to, like, let go of it. I do this. I don't do this and this, like, normal. I have to do this on the console and then let go of it. Because the way that it feels, like, so boxy and delayed, I'm like, this feels like defending on this is horrific, right? But it's not just the defending, it's like there's actual delay, like the way that your players are behaving. I'm like, brother, what am I playing right now? And the problem is that I don't know if me playing at 2 o'clock is the same as somebody else playing at 2 o'clock, because I've faced people on console in the past that I play a game and the gameplay was amazing and then they say it's bad, but was it bad because they're results based? Because people think that I'm results based, right? Not people, few people, right? But you guys know it's not results based. I'd rather go 10-5 and play on better gameplay than go 50-0 and play in gameplay that was horrible the entire time. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I am, because I want the experience to be good, right? But yeah, for me, the PS5, the PS5, the next gen version, I don't know. I never played on the Xbox. I never played on the PS5 Pro, but it's just so bad over there, man. It's really, really horrible. And if I had to do content on the PS5 or the Xbox version, like, it'd be cooked. It really would be, right? So that's the first thing to mention with gameplay. I think like that affects the general audience of the game in regards to like the current state of it. But I think what also doesn't help with the game right now, and guys, this is in direct correlation to their stock market value also going down like crazy. It plummeted like crazy recently, right? I don't know if it went back up recently. I have no idea. I don't check that consistently, but there was that tweet where they showed it went down quite a bit, right? And I think it is because of the way that this game came out initially, right? When the game came out initially, from top to bottom, it's a horrible game, right? When you change the attacking AI and you make passes a little bit better, right? Depending on the players you have, obviously, because when you have tiki-taka, it makes such a huge difference. It's a different experience, right? But like I said, I don't care about attacking AI and general experience in that sense on the console as much, because I'm sorry, but it's just horrible over there, right? It's really, really bad. Live content for the 1 o'clock stuff, which was, at least for last year, you guys know this, which was basically like the saving grace of the game, right? For some of the stuff that they would release, this year has been really bad, right? Like, even with the Team of the Year stuff, guys, like some of the Team of the Year cards that they released, the thing about like YouTube comment section is that like you look at it only from a value from the individual player in the game, right? But if a card costs 1.2 million coins of your time as an SBC, and he doesn't replicate 1.2 million coins as a card in the game, that's a little bit cooked. You know what I'm saying? And they overprice a lot of the cards. My favorite, right, are these cards, bro, because 100%, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, 5090 goes back in stock, but it's literally over $700 on Amazon. Like, I'm good, thanks. Okay, what was I gonna show? Oh, I was gonna show Ashley Cole just as an example, right? 100%, guys. I mentioned this in the reviews recently with these cards, right? These cards, EA 100% went into a meeting room before this game came out, and they were like, "You guys know how last year we would release, you know, a card like Laurent Blanc, right? For instance, it would be, I believe it was like this version, right? During that time period. I don't know if it was like last year or 2 years ago. Hard to remember. I do too many reviews, right? You know how we're going to release that, but then we're also going to release Eusebio, right? Eusebio, we're going to release this guy. You know how we're going to do that? You know how we're going to do a Vidic, right? So these are like regular cards that we're just giving people the opportunity to actually just unlock as SBCs. We're gonna mess with them a little bit, right? Because we're gonna create new icons just to make it feel different and quote unquote better, but we're gonna release them for an insane price for what their actual in-game value is like in a general sense, right? Guys, they did this consistently as this year has progressed for most of the SBCs that they have released, right? Now, listen, there's some SBCs where EA is just going to price them really high in general. This is FIFA, FC 25. There's some SBCs, guys, that EA, they're just going to price them like super high in general, right? Like, look how this card doesn't have any hype. I'm telling you guys, if you guys complete this card, this is Timo Werner 2.0. I'm not kidding. And he can still upgrade, right? Potentially, because Juventus is a really weird team, right? But cards like this, you know, if this was like another year, if you didn't release the state of the gameplay the way that you did in the beginning, and you actually, as much as possible, like 5% for console, right? 5% increase with the way that you did the attacking AI stuff, then, you know, fantastic. There would be like more hype on the game, but like you really killed it off by releasing a complete garbage game from top to bottom in every single variable possible, right? But it still kind of holds true, right? Fantasy FC as a promo, like anything that is like upgrade promos, they are usually garbage, but they're more so garbage this year because their SBC content in general has been garbage. So imagine what the upgrade ones are going to be like. It's going to be even worse, right? Barely release like really nice cards through SBCs. They released some of them through the Winter Wild cards, and Winter Wild cards was like decent. But like, guys, I'm telling you, if you guys play this game, I told you guys this in the past, but they're going to find a way to manipulate you guys like crazy, 100%, right? With the way that they do playstyles and the way that they do roles. Playstyles and roles is a way for EA to not actually give you meta cards, but to give you the impression that they're giving you meta cards, right? Like, I'm sure that there's so many people that watch my content, that watch the play reviews, that are probably saying maybe recently in like a Reddit or forum, like without me looking, because I don't care about this stuff, right? But I'm just saying that people will always have an opinion about you, of course, right? Which is fine. But I'm sure that there's some people that are like, oh, but he's been hating like every single card, right? And I'm sorry to tell you guys, but like I am right to hate them, because I'm going to show you guys an example, okay? You release an SBC like Ashley Cole, and I'm saying this, but you're not stupid. If you were stupid, I would tell you guys that you're stupid, because you guys know how I am, right? But look at the like to dislike ratio. I like seeing that, right? For the Kola Mawani one, you're also accurate, but the dislikes come from the pricing of how EA released some of their cards, right? Because it depends if you go down this route when it comes to like the link ups and stuff, right? But it's the pricing mainly that the EA puts really high. So you're not stupid, right? Because guys, this is the way of being able to manipulate you, right? And people always like, I don't know what it is with like the YouTube comment section sometimes, but people are always like, oh, but the card actually does this. Like, I don't know why this is, but it actually does this. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, because this card on a Shadow Chemistry style has 99 standing tackles. No, he doesn't, bro. No, he doesn't. Because what is, like, I don't know, they need to make like a post. Apparently, they need to show me with like, they need to make like some sort of forum or Reddit post to really show me the difference, right? Because this card has 99 standing tackles, but if he doesn't have even a regular anticipate, his standing tackles suck. It's not to say that it's not possible for him to do standing tackles, right? If somebody else were to do a review and they were to do 1 or 2, 3 games and he did like 4 or 5 standing tackles in a row, sure, congratulations, he's still able to do it. I'm not saying that he can't do it, but he does not do them as well. And anticipate is a really big play style to work with in the defensive positions. You know what else is a really big thing to work with in the defensive positions, especially if your card is poorly formatted, is the physical, right? This card is formatted for an anchor chemistry style, but he's not, like, guys, I'm telling you guys this right now because they're IQ testing you guys like crazy this year, right? They have a guy that understands gameplay well, right? To not actually give you guys meta cards. I know this for a fact, okay? Because this card requires an anchor for more of a physical boost for you to utilize some of his playstyle pluses and some of his regular playstyles, right? But if you give him an anchor chemistry style, he's going to have 97 acceleration, 94 sprint speed, but he's not a lengthy. And then I have people saying, oh, lengthy is not that important. Sure. If you use the Stones card from the SBC, right? You use the Stones card from the SBC, not this one, because this one they did an evolution for, and now he's better than, apparently he's better than the other one, right? Because that's the randomness that you're going to be working with. You have to trust EA to actually drop an evolution that makes these cards really nice. So yeah, just unlock the SBC for 180k, right? And then wait for, I don't know how long this card was released. When was he released? January 10th, and we're in March 5th, so this was like what, a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago that they dropped the evolution. So yeah, unlock the SBC for 170k and then wait for an evolution that comes out that might or might not come out for a better card, right? Anyways, Stones, right? This Stones card does not have a lengthy on a shadow chemistry style. Of course they would format the card in a certain way where he's not going to have a lengthy on a shadow chemistry style because he's an SBC card, right? Now, the reason why it wasn't that bad is because he's 167k, and to be honest, he still has good defensive animations, right? Because he still has Anticipate Plus, he still has Intercept, he still has Block, he still has Jockey. But guys, this card, okay, and you guys seen it from some of the recent reviews because I always talk about my defense because you need such full meta cards in this game nowadays, right? But this card not having lengthy is a huge downfall of his card in a lot of different situations. Like if there's certain situations where you require the lengthy to really push the pace or to really push that physical aspect out of the card, it is a letdown to not have those things on him, right? How do you have it on him? By giving him an anchor, but he has 89 acceleration, 94 sprint speed. So that's why I mentioned in the review that them not giving him a lengthy is really like, right? But he still has good animations because they still gave him the playstyles, all the important ones too, right? No, like guys, Jockey with Anticipate Plus is already a big deal, right? Intercept with a Bruiser, like all this stuff is really nice, but it's an anchor card with lower pace. And then you give him a shadow, and then you have lower physical to work with, like the You guys get what I'm saying? Like they do this on a really consistent basis when it comes to the live content, right? And I hope they don't do this for Foot Birthday, because honestly, like we're at a point in the game where it's like, come on, EA, like you know that like I can't talk to people anymore that are like, oh, but this card I'm unlocking for fun. Guys, the cards need to be well formatted in the game nowadays because EA added playstyles and roles. This is exactly what they want, to not actually give you guys meta cards, but you think you're getting meta cards. You know what I'm saying? Because playstyles is such a huge thing. Like, guys, they released like Hullet as an SBC. Buddy, if this was 4 or 5 years ago, right? If this was 4 or 5 years ago and you released Hullet, everyone's complaining this SBC, right? Because you didn't have this same thing with like all the playstyles and all this kind of stuff, right? But now with the playstyles not being on the card, it's not as relevant as it was in previous years, but they're releasing Hullet because people are still going to complete him because not everybody is looking at like the playstyles, which you have to be, because that's what the game is now. The game is based off of playstyles. The game is based off of how your card is generally formatted, right? It's super important. And they're doing this on purpose. Like for a lot of the cards, guys, they do format them poorly on purpose in certain areas. Like, guys, they do a lot of things on purpose, right? Like, for instance, with Gavi, like if Gavi has 99 dribbling, you guys know that he doesn't actually perform like he has 99 dribbling. What the 99 dribbling is doing for this card, and this is what I'm trying to tell you guys, that they have a gameplay guy at the studios that like helps with this type of stuff, right? What the 99 dribbling is doing to this Gavi card, right, is that it's just making it way more usable to work with his body type and his dribbling animations, where it's like, this is actually not even, you're not even looking at it from a point of view where it's like, yo, this is 99 dribbling. Like, you're going to feel 99 dribbling. It's like, it's overcompensating what his base mechanics are, right? Because I'll tell you this right now. If you were to give, like, guys, I'll tell you this right now, and again, it always depends on the cards, and they know this, right? But let's say this card, for instance, and you guys know I always bring up this guy because of his left stick dribbling in general, right? If you put his dribbling, you know what, I'll make an argument right now. This dribbling right now where he's at might be better left stick responsiveness-wise and quickness than the Gavi with 99 dribbling stats, right? There's always variables with like, oh, you have a press proven, but sometimes press proven's not enough. Sometimes like you have to test out the cards in game to see what their body type is like, working with the stats, like all that kind of stuff, right? So for me, like I wanted to talk about this because I do think there's like huge manipulation with the way that they do SBC content, like making SBC content. Like I said, winter wildcards, the pricing of it wasn't like super horrible, so like I wasn't like completely against it, to be honest. It was still a decent promo. Wasn't as good as it used to be honest with you. Like they kind of diminish it as the time goes by, but like the pricing of the cards was like, it was okay, right, for what you were getting during that time period. Like there was the Cole Palmer card, who again, you know, obviously because his dribbling is formatted a certain way, because you have to give him a hunter chemistry style, like certain things were still a little bit weird on him, like the dribbling and stuff, right, not being in like the greatest area, which you do notice in game. But it's like, you know, 250 260k, like that's okay, right? That's what I'm telling you. Like winter wild cards was one of the okay ones. Team of the year, brother, you know what team of the year was this year? Team of the year was like overcompensation for the content that was generally released this year, and overcompensation for like honestly like previous years as well, sometimes with the team of the year. The team of the year content this year was fantastic because you were actually providing people with meta cards, because meta cards are the normal cards in your game nowadays. You can't just like use normal cards and be like, yeah, you know what, this is perfectly fine. Because guys, no matter if people tell me, oh, I'm unlocking this card for fun, if you are actually playing this game normally, you are always going to face people that are going to have meta cards. Like I don't like, sometimes the YouTube comment section and what I'm actually playing against, it doesn't translate like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no correlation sometimes, because the people that are like, oh, I love this card, he's like, I don't see them. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm playing in the elite division, right, I'm only going to see most of the times like the meta evolution cards, right? And I'm also going to see meta cards in general. Like during team of the year, people were getting like a lot of team of the year cards left, right, and center, which they still held on to nowadays, because obviously their team of the year cards are going to be incredible. But dudes, like this last weekend, for instance, like I faced people that have like Mbappe, Vinny, Hansen on the same team. I'm facing people that have like team of the year. I saw team of the year Ezebu. You could see in the reviews actually. Team of the year Ezebu, team of the year Pele. Cards I don't even know existed because I don't look at them look into them as much, right? But like team of the year was incredible, right? Winter wild cards was decent, but everything else, man, like it just in my opinion, it just hasn't been crazy, right? It just hasn't been crazy. I have to see if this new evolution is actually worth posting a review for, because there are different players here. Brian Hill. Evolutions that have 4-star, 3-star, and 4-star, 4-star nowadays is kind of cringe too, because a 5-star minimum for something is super important. So that's live content. I just kind of wanted to brush up on that a little bit. That's just been really bad. Like they've done that on purpose. They've done it to see what they can get away with, what people actually end up completing, and then they're probably gonna make it worse as time progresses. Like I'm not saying that this is what they're doing at all, like not even a little bit, right? But it's like they're making content this year to like fight against like how I normally do content, because my content is very based off of live stuff, right? And it just hasn't been crazy. And you could see from the videos, like, bro, if they released a team of the year Phil Foden, even though he was a 4-star, but the card was like not 1.2 million coins and he was more like a 500k 400k SBC, the video would have done better, right? If you didn't release like De Bruyne and Joshua Kimmich, that was like, I think they were like 1.2 or whatever million coins too, like maybe it would do better. But even with De Bruyne, like De Bruyne did that on purpose too, right? Where it's like you're unlocking this card and this card's nice, fun to use, guys, right? But like he's missing a lot of play styles to actually be like mainly a center mid, because his body type is going to make him dribble a certain way if you decide to use him as a cam. You know what I'm saying? For the price, I said 1.2, look, 2.8. Like they did it on purpose for all the cards this year, okay? So yeah, I just wanted to brush up on that. Team of the year, I'm not going to fault them on. Foot birthday might actually end up being really good. Who knows, right? But as far as like what I'm seeing right now with that type of stuff, like it's been horrible this year, guys. Like for most of it, I would say for 90% of it, for a game that requires meta because of the way that you introduce playstyles and roles now, it's cringe. It's really, really cringe. Like you know that you need to, like with Ashley Cole, for instance, guys, I'm not kidding, right? Because you are unlocking this card at this price range, he should be formatted for an anchor with perfect pace because he has no lengthy. So a guy that has lengthy, like Theo Hernandez or Doomfreeze that have higher pace than what this card has right now, with more of a physical presence, like those guys are still going to be the sought after cards. But to make Ashley Cole cool, if you give him an anchor and he's basically perfect pace, and then you could give him the physical boost, and then you give him a regular anticipate, then there's an argument where it's like, okay, you know, like this is a pretty cool SPC to get, even though he's not going to be the physical presence guy, which is more meta. This guy is still going to feel a little bit agile to work with, like, because his dribbling is going to be in a better spot in comparison. He's a shorter player. Again, doesn't have a physical presence, but would be great to work with in that fullback position under the right circumstances. But like I said, guys, they'll take out 1, 2, 3, 4 things to not really make them the true value of the card, depending on the type of fodder that you can unlock during that time period. Because sometimes you can't always look at SBCs from just the price points. This year you can, because this year they're IQ testing like crazy. 100% you can, right? But in the past, you couldn't always look at the SBC price because it depends on how easy it is to collect fodder to put towards it. As long as you're not in the menus 24/7, because I don't play a video game to be in the menus more than playing the game. But in this game, people do that because this game people just view as a card collecting game, right? It's like me opening the Pokemon packs the other day, and that's just you doing it in the digital version for a game that lasts for 1 year. And then like you're just staring at your team, and then you don't want to do the gameplay because the gameplay is horrific, right? At least for the console. For the PC, at least I could do attacking AI stuff, you know? Yeah, literally $700 more. Anyways, crazy. To get a 5090, guys, holy. PC guys know, bro, it's insane. That's why I just got the 5080, and I'm like, even if it performs slightly worse than the 4090, like I'm coming off of a 2080 Ti, so I'm cooking, you know what I'm saying? I'm cooking. Okay, gameplay. Okay, let's talk about the gameplay. Very important to mention with the gameplay. See that this is already going longer than I want it to be, but I think you guys like the conversation anyways, right? Some of you do. Some of you do. Some of you guys are like, you just think I hate the game in general, right? But listen, man, first gameplay patch that I actually said anything positive about them, because it was actually a good patch, like attacking AI wise, because it was horrible for 8 years in my opinion. But again, that's only mainly for the PC, because if we were to, if I didn't have the PC, if you never made the game for PC and I had to play on the console, GG's, buddy. I'd like no chance. Absolutely no chance. Like the game is garbage. That the video can end right there. The game is garbage. Okay, just from the console. But I play on PC now, so I would be worse than I was years ago doing rant videos if I only did the reviews on console. I would be, brother. I was dying doing those 2 Maradona reviews because the guys had them on console. I'm like, oh, I have to deal with it now. You know. Anyways, okay, so let's talk about the gameplay. We don't have to talk about the specifics. Everything specifics wise, I have already mentioned so much in the past, but I just want to talk about a specific style of play that makes people use the 4-2-1-3 and makes people use currently like the higher depth, just to consistently force pressure against the opposition, especially if you have meta cards. Because I have SBC team, and the SBC team, as you guys know, because live content is horrible, is garbage, and they still perform really well, right? So mostly garbage, 90%. Like they release some cards that are nice for the price, like Neto. Neto was nice for the price, right? Like there's some cards. Like I said, it's just 90. Well, it's not just 90. I can't say the word just because 90 is a big one, right? But like I said, 4-2-1-3. Why is this formation the formation that people use the most? If you guys watched my rant videos from back in the day, right? You know why this formation is so effective nowadays. Because of it being new compared to some of the other formations that exist. Guys, if you watch my rants videos from 3 or 4 years ago, you're going to see the one biggest thing that I talk about in the new gen version of the game, which I do not view as a skill-based goal on a consistent basis. And the reason why I'm saying this is because it depends on the formation that the opponent is actually using and the types of players that they have, right? Because the team difference makes that difference, because a lot of it is AI based, right? But if you use a formation, just as an example, right? If you use a formation, let's say you're using the 4-3-3, right? And you're using a formation of 4-3-3 that has the 1 CDM, right? This formation, although better after the patch, all the formations are better after the patch. This formation cannot cook properly in this game because EA, for a lot of these formations and custom tactics, they apply a line, right? And this line is applied, generally speaking, in this area right here. And you guys know this because I have mentioned it in so many different rants videos in the past, that this defensive line will not allow your midfielders to track back, right? They will not pass this defensive line. Do you know what the problem with this is, right? The problem with this is that let's say someone is using a 4-2-1-3 against you, just as an example, right? So they're going to have this guy here, this guy here, this guy here, and they're going to have the playmaker that might linger around the CDM that does not track back, right? You guys know that a very big part, and this is not skill-based because I can just tell you this for 1 minute and then you can apply it to the game and you will be able to score goals. It's not, I'm sorry, but it's like a brainless way of me teaching you how to attack. If I teach you how to attack in other ways, right, that is actually like boom, 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 then boom, oh, I do this pass that I can, if it's like that, then sure. But this is an easy way of scoring a goal, especially if your opponent is not using the meta formation. So why is everybody using 4-2-1-3? Because you do not track back in the midfield position, and all of your players, and this is, again, I've talked about this since the inception of the new gen version, all of your players constantly do this and this, this and this, this and this, okay? It's the push forward, it's the track back, the push forward, track back, push forward, track back. Because this is so effective, what happens is that your team, if you're the blue team, these guys will track back like this, and then your opponent has all this space here to work with to then score an opportunity, because what they're doing is they are waiting for that track back from your players, because they already did the forward run, right? So this guy over here is going to do this run afterwards. This guy over here is going to do this run afterwards. And then this guy at the bottom is going to do the exact same thing with the track back, right? So it's either the track back or it's the push forward, push forward. Why do they push forward? Because most of the times for these custom tactics, and this has been the case for the entire year, this is why people do not use winger unless they player lock for the most part, right? These guys are set on inside forward for the 4-2-1-3. So not only are they doing the track back, but they're also doing the push on the inside, which just gives you the opportunity to just get the ball here and then just shoot it across. Get the ball here and then shoot it across, right? So this is a very easy way to attack, quote unquote, if your opponent is not using 4-2-1-3. So I have a theory, a thought. I don't know if this actually might be the case. This is just a theory. I don't actually like truly believe in this, but it's just a theory, right? I think that because the 4-2-1-3 is a new formation in the game, maybe it's not coded the same way as some of these other formations, although I don't know if a 4-4-1-1 is considered new. I don't know if a 4-4-1-1 was a thing last year, because we all used 4-3-2-1 because it was the most usable formation in the game, right? But if you use a 4-2-1-3, and you guys can see in the reviews whenever I transition from the defense to the attack, these guys do track back, right? And they linger on the edge of the 18-yard box. So if you actually have, you know, CDMs or CDMs for this formation, right? And they're actual meta ones, right, that have like a pinged pass and stuff, because pinged pass is a crazy play style to work with in midfield, you can at least block out that track back opportunity that people are doing. Is it still easier for them to score those opportunities because the players are doing that on a consistent basis? Absolutely. But I will say that after the patch, like gameplay attacking AI wise, and that's why I said that they cooked with the attacking AI, like I mentioned in that video, there's a lot of situations where from general build-up play, and you can see from Colomani when I'm actually reviewing one of the goals that I score, where I'm like, he's the one that makes that run. I love those ones, right? Where it's like the guy's playing advanced forward, so he starts off here, this guy commits, and then Colomani sees that run over here, attacking AI-wise, and then he's the one that utilizes that. That I think is awesome, right? You guys know, like I'm all over that, right? But this specific way of attacking, which I score very often because it's the main way of attacking, it does not take a lot of brain cells to do, to be honest. This is the main way that people are scoring goals. So it makes a lot of the formations that you use less usable. Not impossible to use, because like I said, the gameplay patch made a lot of these formations significantly better. But the lack of track back, because of that defensive line that EA added years ago in one of the patch to, because like I said, they do hot fixes to avoid someone parking the bus and stuff, right? That's their hot fix to it. Because of that, people just concede super easy goals. Like if your entire midfield, like here, is open, right? Because you're not using a formation that actually tracks that area, I don't consider this like a skilled way of conceding a goal, because all of these guys are going to have more of an advantage to attack backwards. And like I said, I score most of my goals this way, right? It's not like super skill based. It can be one of the ways to score, but it's one of the main ways to score because of that gray area that the players don't track back in. I want to actually see, because you guys know my whole entire Twitter feed. I'm speaking so much that I'm starting to stutter like crazy. I have to eat, to be honest. But my entire Twitter feed is muted. I don't see anything because I don't want to see anything. I don't want to see like messages that often. I don't want to see nothing. I don't want to be on social media for too long, right? Oh, perfect. That's one of his like top tweets. Yes, Boris. Perfect. So he is going to show the perfect example of the formation, right? So right here, you're going to see this perfectly displays one of the biggest issues currently in the game and why 90% play the 4-2-1-3. So this is February 12th for this year. But remember, guys, I mentioned this specific thing every single year for the new gen version. And this chart, go look at the old rant videos. I use this exact same chart. I use this exact same line. I'm like, this is going to be a problem, right? Because that's the main way to attack. Bro, guys, you know what it was, bro? It was way worse before, though, because this was the only way to attack. But now it's like you actually have attacking AI. Like, bro, if I use like Mbappe, for instance, at striker, like he cooks. You know, Kolomoani, this new SBC, attacking AI wise with that first touch, he cooks. Like, I'm telling you, watch that 4-2-1-3 videos. There's so many like where he stays on side, he utilizes the first touch. Like, there's some goals that I score. I'm like, yes, that's the one I want to score. You know, but this, he's using the 4-4-1-1, which, to be fair, is still one of the more meta formations in the game. But look at how his players are behaving in this midfield area, and then watch the attackers, how they're constantly doing this, right? Let me just play it here. Look at the midfield. It's the line. It's the line. They don't surpass that line, okay? But in a 4-2-1-3, these two people here are over here, right? So if someone is look at his attackers and look at how they're behaving, and then look at the types of passes that he'll go for eventually, right? Do you guys see that? Look at the striker here. Push forward, come back. Push forward, come back. And that's what it is, right? Like, because if you're using 4-2-1-3, a lot of the times, your cam, even if he's on playmaker, if he sees the empty space, because the attacking AI is better now, right? He'll utilize that empty space. So let's say he makes his pass over here, and look, none of them are doing anything about this. Look. Which is fine if they're generally in this area and you're actually timing your passes correctly because the attacking AI is way better. I have to keep mentioning this because for 8 years, it was not good. So this was the only way people were scoring against you. And this is not skill-based to be the only way to score, but it's still one of the main ones, right? One of the ways, sure, not the main way. Because again, it's the way that the formations are formatted. So look at the midfield. They don't track back. And Boris, you know, full respect to Boris, because his reactions as a person who streams, and I think he still plays on the console. Like, I think he's crazy as a content creator to play on the console still. I think he started a road to glory on the Maradona because I saw his YouTube video, right? And he was doing like a Maradona one, and I think that one's on the PC. You should have done that in the beginning, Boris, because I don't know how you're playing. Like, if you guys are playing the same gameplay that I played for that Maradona review, or for any review that I have, like sometimes the icons, I have the first initial 5 games for the icons, but then if I run out, I have to go and get the other 5 games. Bro, sometimes like 1 or 2 games, I'm like, no. I need to get off this. I need to get off. No chance, right? But this is what I'm trying to say. There's no movement from the midfield. And this, sure, as your hotfix in previous years, because you did this like 3 or 4 years ago, as your hotfix in previous years, it was okay because you know, you need to give people an opportunity to score in your trash game, because it was trash every single year until you did that gameplay attacking AI change, right? To make it 30% better, but only on the PC because the console's horrible. But this right here, with better attacking AI, it's so overpowered, right? Like, people can just attack. Like, guys, I'm playing 4-2-1-3 against people playing 4-2-1-3, and I'm still scoring goals against them. You know what I'm saying? I'm still scoring goals against them with a horrible team, because that SPC team is trash compared to what you're facing, right? But again, look at the midfield, right? Because this was the hotfix of previous years when there was no attacking AI, right? Same thing again, 4-4-1-1, right? Boris Legend has to do a lot of manual defending. But look, it's the track back, push forward, track back, push forward, track back. This guy's waiting. He's waiting for the push forward, track back, right? And then there you go. And his reactions are, you know, respect to Boris, because his reactions are very good. He's very, you know, if Boris hits his desk, that's when you know something's wrong. You know what I'm saying? But this is, it's a huge problem. Like I said, listen, it's the gray area, right? It's the gray area that they do not pass. And that's why people are using 4-2-1-3. So sometimes in the tactic videos I mentioned, it's like, it's weird because it's like, do other formations need a buff? Because if you buff the general movement of your midfielders to generally be in this area, listen, man, you making your attacking AI overpowered is not a bad thing, okay? Attacking AI being good is what makes the game fun. When I see players on the advanced forward, like Colomani in the review, coming here, offering support to then pass it to this guy here, right? Bam, make a pass here, and then I make a pass to the striker over here, or whoever the guy is over here, and then my Colomani makes a run here. That's football, guys. That's football. That's where like your brain cells are being activated. It's in plays like that where you're trying to see a play in advance. If you're seeing a play in advance, that's where the skill is for me, right? Not the whole, you know, cut back thing the whole entire time. And then like, that's the main way to score because you don't have that gray area. Like I said, a little bit more skill based if someone is using a 4-2-1-3, but you can tell when someone is, no offense to you guys, because a lot of people play this way, and this is a big way they're getting results. You're kind of playing without brain cells, right? You're still going to be able to score these opportunities because that part of the attacking AI is so effective. Like, look at this first clip from Boris, right? Like, let's say this guy, and again, this is on console, so I can't make any of these claims because it's not something you can do for this game on console, right? On PC, not so much either until we'll see what happens with a new build, right? But there's a point right here where it's like, right here, where the guy makes the run in the middle, and it's like, if he were to do a pass, and then a pass right away as a goal. In this open space, because that whole push forward, track back, push forward, track back, push forward, track back. You know what I'm saying? And a big problem, guys, is that manually defending, and again, more specifically on the console, it's horrible on the console, complete trash. I'm sorry, no skill. It's so garbage there. Okay, I hate the way you jockey on the console. Trash. Such a bad gameplay lag delay this year. This year, it's so bad, right? But let's say I'm on the PC and I'm transitioning left and right. It's still bad. You need crazy full meta anticipate plus. You need intercept to block out that cut passing lane as well. You know, the skill in the game attacking wise, it has to be like seeing plays in advance. Like that Colomani one, like I said, I keep mentioning it, but like just seeing the plays in advance, that's where the skill needs to be, in my opinion, right? But this, it's like, you know, you use the 4-4-1-1, which again is still one of the more meta formations in the game, but like they won't pass that point because of what they did years ago, because people literally could not score because attacking AI was so garbage. So they're like, this is our hot fix to allow you to score, right? Because back then it was the 4-3-2-1, right? We're going to allow you to score, but it's still not skill based because the 4-3-2-1 was the same thing. At some point, it doesn't pass that line, right? But people used it more because the 4-3-2-1 was basically glitched and it played in a 4-4-2. So if you had to track back the players yourself, you could. It's always the glitch stuff. It's 4-2-1-3 that's one of the formations that allows you to go back. But the 4-4-1-1 does not because it's center mids, right? Guys, I even sometimes use like CDM formations like 4-2-3-1 wide, and sometimes they don't even do it. You know what I'm saying? It's the way that it's formatted, like the depth and stuff, all that is very important, right? But this happening is what makes formations less usable. And the reason why I'm talking about this is because I want to be able to use more formations and not be put at a disadvantage, because there's so many formations that I would like to review, but when you're defending with them, it's just too easy for them to create this attacking space, which is somewhat brainless if I'm not using a formation that counters this playstyle, right? So that's why, you know, 4-2-1-3, my last two formation videos is one that's like a typical meta 4-2-1-3, and then one that's like a super high depth 4-2-1-3, and people are saying like, why are you posting this, why are you posting that? Guys, that's the state of the game, bro. The state of the game that you guys play is not a great game, okay? It's not a great game because there's still many things that need to be fixed. I only told you guys that the game enjoyment is at 30% capacity, 0 for the console, but 30% capacity for the PC. Might be higher once we build a new computer, but look at what I'm saying. Build a new computer, bro. You know how much a computer is to build? Like a good one? It's expensive nowadays, boys. A 5090 is like $3,000 before tax, guys. 3,300. Some of the overclock ones, 3,800. I think a 5080 will be good enough for me, to be honest, because it's like a level below the 4090. I'm paying more than a 4090. If I just got the 4090 during that time period, I would have been fine. But content needs to be made. You know what I'm saying? And I was looking at some stuff benchmarks wise, and I'm like, this would be good enough for me, you know, as a content creator. But yeah, very important to mention this gameplay stuff, whatever. The rest of the stuff, I mean, you guys know the stuff that I don't like. I don't like gameplay mechanic, gimmick mechanic stuff. The cancels I don't mind too much because some of them are natural. Like if you do a Burba spin, it's just like you stopping the ball while doing a turn. It's natural, you know what I'm saying? Like if something is overpowered, I don't like it, you know. But if it's natural, then like a Burba cancel is natural. McGeady cancel, I will say it is a very effective. It's not really a natural thing. I use it all the time, and I wouldn't consider it natural, but it is. They still do it, you know, because they do the drag back. Basically, that's what happens when you do the McGeady cancel, right? It's like them doing like you drag the ball backwards and you're using your right foot to like put it to the side. That's what you're doing, basically, right? Player lock and stuff, bro. Player lock, guys. You know, you can say whatever you want for player lock, but now that attacking AI is better, let's just take it out. You know what I'm saying? Player lock is such a I've never liked it. Never. Before, my biggest thing was player lock is an excuse for you to not make your attacking AI better. That was my big thing before. You guys remember this, right? But now that your attacking AI is better, as much as possible, because it's so horrible on the console, I have to always mention this, right? Because it's so stupid, but I have to. But your attacking AI being better, take it out. You don't need someone to make movement out of your players now, because now you actually have movement. And as the time progresses, EA, because it looks like you're capable of doing it, maybe you make it even better. Because there's still some situations where it could still be a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. It's just, yeah, SBC content this year for the 1 o'clock stuff has been very underwhelming, very trash for 90% of it. Sometimes they release some cool ones, but even the cool ones, they price super up there. So it's not going to be as hyped for some people. You know what I'm saying? Like 2.8 million coins for Kevin De Bruyne is crazy, guys, to be honest with you. If you complete the SBC and you didn't mind it with your fodder grind and all that kind of stuff, cool. You have a guy that's fantastic at passing the ball, but he has no play styles to play in the midfield. You know, past like the passing stuff, because some guys, they don't have like defensive stuff, guys, but like their passing stuff is crazy, right? Like Reinders is a really good example. I recently used him because I did a review for João Felix, right? And it was this card, right? I was like, oh, I could see why people like this card, but this card is already starting to get a little bit thing, right? Because there's so much meta options to work with nowadays. But like, brother, if I knew of this card when he first came out, like this guy would have been added to the team right away because of the passing play styles that he has. That's where the compensation comes from. But the thing is, guys, that like if you actually use this card in game at a 6'1" height, for some reason he still does defensive stuff too. Some cards are like that, where it's like some things they're a little bit better at. You know what I'm saying? Like this is one of those like rare ones. But then there's the other one that's like obviously doesn't have any physical presence, but like this card is incredible. Like this card is better than most of the SBCs they released this year. This card is nuts. 4-star, 5-star. You give him a shadow. You know, in the center mid position, he plays well. Like, brother, imagine this guy had like cam position change with like more play. They might do that, eh? Be careful with this card. Like, he's 125k. He's maintaining a price, which makes sense because he's amazing. But like, he might get an evolution in the future that might give you like the cam position change too, which would be kind of crazy. Because then it's like, oh, now I have defensive stats with a hunter. I get excited when a Portuguese player is actually meta, you know, because some of them are complete garbage, right? But like with this card, yeah, they gave him intercept. If you look at the roles, they gave him deep lying playmaker plus. They gave him the holding plus as a center mid. Like they gave him like all the right stuff. That's what I'm saying with the fullbacks, guys, earlier, right? You look at Doomfreeze, and then people on Twitter are like, how is this card like actually meta? What do you mean, how is this card actually meta? Look at the play styles that he has. Look at how he's formatted on a lengthy with a shadow chemistry style, right? With the base physical being where it's at, with an intercept, with a block, with a jockey, with a bruiser, you know what I'm saying? If I paid attention to numero foot, because this promo was, you know, but if I paid attention to numero foot, this guy would have been bought right away, like so quickly, bro. We never got a full, like a right back that was as meta as this card last year, but we got it this year with this Doomfreeze card. That's why I'm going to tell you guys this right now, because we're doing some changes, right? Especially at this point in the game, EA are going to start releasing like more concrete cards that have their official stats, right? that maybe, you know, if there's an evolution in the future, they could be even better, right? But with Foot Birthday coming out, we're probably going to start doing transfer market reviews again because I need to compensate, right? Because and there was a year where the transfer market reviews, I was like, it's not doing as well because last year was live content, but this year it seems like it's kind of back because I'm looking at like older videos and I'm like, wow, like these videos compared to some of the SBC stuff that I do nowadays is like irrelevant, right? But I'm just letting you know that Foot Birthday wise, like as we progress forward, and I'm excited to get the new computer to actually like start grinding content again because I need to get a new computer to grind content because it's so bad on the console. I wish I could just get the coins in the console and then create the content that way, but I can't play there, bro. I can't. And then the dumb ones are gonna be like, oh, skill issue. No, guys, the controls. I'm telling you, bro. Like you can watch my old Road to Glory videos. The delay, the built-in lag delay that exists in this year's game. I don't know what that is. I can't even tell you what it is, right? But that, oh my god, it drives me crazy, bro. I'm like, there's no way that people don't complain about this. This needs to be all over the Reddits, all over the forums. Like that's crazy. But anyways, the content on the channel, I hope that EA does like some sort of like new gameplay patch in the future that allows me to use more formations without getting cooked in that specific attacking area against my for my opponent to have. So I can do more formation stuff because, you know, there's so many different ones that I can do because of the way that they changed it this year to 5. Oh, I'm using a 4-4-2, but it turns into a 4-1-2-2. Like I like that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But in order for me to really like it, you got to make those adjustments because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too easy to attack against that general area if you're not using like a meta one. But yeah, transfer market reviews, guys, like we're probably going to return to that because if I continue to only do the live content, it's not going to be great. This year has been tough content creation wise. It's been very tough with the live content. So yeah, you know, with Foot Birthday coming, team of the season also coming with all those players too, we're probably going to start returning to that. Again, we could have done that for Winter Wildcard and for Team of the Year, but based off of previous years, I was like, oh, maybe this is not going to really like work out. But from what I'm seeing this year with the way that they do live content, like, yeah, I think transfer market ones are maybe generally going to do better over time. We'll see. But I have to start posting those types of videos because, like I said, the live stuff, if it's only for live stuff, like I'm cooked. I do SBCs, guys, that cost like 1.1, 1.2 million coins. Like, brother, coin wise, I ain't making that back, bro. You know what I'm saying? From some of those videos. But hey, we got some leaks, some crazy stuff coming out. So hopefully translates well and I can actually do those reviews. Because guys, for me, if I do reviews and the videos get like, I would say minimum 12, 13K each from transfer market, but some of them can go to like 30, some of them can go to 40. It's worth the upload for me. So that's why when that comes, we're going to probably consider doing all that. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the current state of the game. We didn't absolutely mention everything, but I feel like I mentioned all the things that I felt like I need to mention. I'm sorry if I just blabbered for like a very long period of time. You guys know how I am when it comes to doing these types of videos, but yeah, I just wanted to show you guys like what my thought process was. I'm not on the game like that. I'm not building evolutions. I'm not building my team. I haven't done that for like probably 8 years now, to be honest with you guys. But content creation wise, yeah, we gotta change it up because we did transfer market reviews like 3 or 4 years ago and they were good. So I think that's what it's going to kind of turn into nowadays, because most of these transfer market cards, if I did a review for this Vitinha, I would have gotten significantly more views for him. If I did the review for Doomfreeze, I would have gotten significantly more views for him. Right? So we'll be doing that for Foot Birthday. Some of the icons are more for like later, but some of the cards earlier, like if there's like Griezmann and stuff, like people will be interested in that. I'm actually kind of curious because they released so many Griezmann cards. And some of these cards I did release late as a review because doing it in the first like 3 days is pretty important. I just want to see what my older Griezmann cards went to because I never actually checked. Yeah, so total rush Griezmann went to 12K. So 12K as an upload is already worth it for me as an individual upload. You know? It's already worth it because I fight guys. I could with player reviews, like it's just one at a time. So if I could do like 5, 6, it just depends. It depends on the cards that are out. Like even the gold card, right? The gold card got to 14K. So when I'm looking back on this stuff, like some of these cards on the first day, it's like 1K, 2K, but they grow over time because people will always look for the reviews. So yeah, last year, no, Path to Glory. See, this is what I'm saying, bro. This is what I'm saying, right? Because Path to Glory last year, I can't show you guys this because it shows certain things, right? But Path to Glory last year, 6.6K views. So that's why I'm basing it off of when I'm doing stuff this year. I'm like, oh, like the 6.6, like that's not worth an upload, right? But it really feels like it's returning to what it was before, minus good SBC content. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it feels like. Bro, I have like Griezmann cards, like the older ones. Brother, they used to get like 40K, 30K. Bro, this one year, 6.6K views, guys. For a 5-star UEFA Euro Path to Glory Griezmann. When was this uploaded? Yeah, and I uploaded it within the first 3 days. So that's what I'm saying. I was basing it off of last year. But like I said, Path to Glory, 5-star, 6.6K views. But then I upload these last two in like 12K views, 14K views. And some of these players, guys, like I said, some of them go to 30, some of them go to 40. Like I did a Darwin Nunez review last year for Foot Birthday, and he got like 40K views, I think. Yeah, 48K views, and that was a transfer market card, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, we're definitely, if there's good Foot Birthday cards, like even Ronaldinho and stuff, like yeah, we're gonna have to do that because I have to, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, an hour long for the video. I apologize. You guys know how I am. But I just want to talk about those two things. I think those two things are like really the biggest two things to talk about for this game, if you're playing it from a regular perspective. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys for the next video. I don't think there's going to be content for Thursday, but I think for Friday, that's when we should start like bulk posting again, essentially, because I kind of have to. Like, this, you know, like this year it's been a little bit cooked. Been a little bit cooked. But guys, it's been cooked, but considering like the bad content that they released this year, like first of all, 100% makes sense to get 8.4K views on this because like you guys are not stupid, right? But like, bro, even cards like Dennis Bergkamp at 11K, like people know that these cards are like super up there in price, right? Colomwani getting 37K was great. 23K for Rafinha is so bad, guys. Like, it's so bad because it's Rafinha. But you know why? Because the price of the SBC is super up there. People already got Team of the Year Evolution versions of him. So there's always like certain variables there, right? These ones I post a little bit later as well because sometimes I just want to play the game more to like review a new custom tactic and stuff, right? Evolution videos have saved me. Like, look at the evolution videos this year. They've absolutely saved me this year. Look at that, bro. Saved me like crazy. Grassroots was pretty decent too. Like flashback to Jota, bro. This car was like 600K, I think, as an SBC or something crazy like that. Look at these cards, bro. Like I don't know who they're releasing these cards to, like Cliver and stuff. 7.4K makes complete sense. Shrine Stagger was super expensive. A nice card in game, but super expensive, so that makes sense too. Torres, you know, Torres being Torres is what's carrying that card because people know that card was poorly formatted too. Sanchez, I guess, is mainly link ups that's bad, right? Cliverts we just did for the sake of it. Flashback mount. Like, bro, I'm just going down the list and I'm like, brother, you know? Look, a transfer market review for Team of the Year Ronaldo, that's still going to grow over time, especially later when those upgrades and stuff come out. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Team of the Year was pretty good, though. We had a lot of content for Team of the Year. Before Team of the Year, though, guys, oh my goodness, I barely had any uploads, to be honest. There's barely anything to upload. But Team of the Year, yeah, there was a ton, bro. We did so much for Team of the Year. And then it just slows down again because they come off of Team of the Year and then they start releasing cards that are like not as crazy, you know? And it's just like, brother, like the game is so meta. Like you gotta keep releasing these types of cards, you know? But yeah, you guys, listen, man, you guys you show crazy supports, honestly. For the YouTube channel, man, you guys are nuts. I appreciate it. It's because for what the game is now as a gameplay live content, and you guys still do this, like it's I appreciate it. It really does mean a lot to me. Okay, but yeah, we're gonna start doing a lot of changes for the channel because we gotta start doing some big things. we gotta start. We used to bulk upload before. We're probably gonna start doing that again, right? So just be mindful of that when we start posting all that. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video today. Hopefully on Friday we have like 3 or 4 videos we could do. We'll see what the vibes are. Peace out, my dudes. Love you guys.